Last night, Keir Starmer walked into a room packed with Labour MPs, fully aware that his leadership is hanging by a thread. The meeting was supposed to be a reset, a chance to rally the troops and steady a sinking ship. Instead, it laid bare the brutal reality. Starmer's grip on the Labour Party is crumbling, and what unfolded behind those closed doors could torch his premiership and Labour's future. This wasn't a meeting, it was a battlefield, and Starmer's fighting for his political life. The showdown came at a brutal moment for the Prime Minister. Westminster's buzzing with talk that this was the most critical meeting of his tenure, and it didn't disappoint for all the wrong reasons. Just weeks before Labour's annual conference in Liverpool, Starmer's so-called leadership reset is imploding. The spark? Angela Rayner's resignation as deputy leader, which triggered a reshuffle that's left MPs fuming rather than unified. Yvette Cooper's been shoved into the Foreign Office, Shabana Mahmood's landed in the Home Office, and David Lammy's still clinging to his deputy prime minister title. But don't be fooled, there's no harmony here. The room last night was a cauldron of frustration, suspicion, and outright mutiny. Starmer's refusal to guarantee Rayner's successor a cabinet seat has lit a fuse under the Labour left. For them, the deputy leader role isn't just a title. It's a seat at the table, a chance to shape the government's soul. Starmer's response? It's just a party position, no cabinet perks attached. That dismissive stance dominated the meeting, turning it into a shouting match that exposed the fractures ripping through Labour. MPs on the left are livid, accusing Starmer of sidelining them in a power grab dressed up as pragmatism. The mood wasn't unity, it was war. This meeting capped off a disastrous few weeks for Starmer. His post-summer reset has crashed and burned. Aides are jumping ship faster than rats off a sinking vessel. Tom Kabasi, once the mastermind behind Starmer's leadership campaign, bolted from Downing Street after a measly 2 weeks. He's joined the growing list of casualties. Sue Gray, Nim pundit Matthew Doyle, all gone. For a man who sold himself as a steady-hand professionalism, Starmer's operation is a chaotic mess, and the churn at number 10 is bleeding him dry. Every departure screams instability, and his enemies are circling. The deputy leadership race is now a full-blown civil war, splitting Labour into vicious camps. On one side, the hard left is roaring about an undemocratic stitch-up. Bell Ribeiro-Addy threw her hat in the ring, spitting fire at the rush contest designed to freeze out the left. This has to be a fair fight with a real left-wing candidate, she told MPs, her words a direct challenge to Starmer's inner circle. On the other side, Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson is swinging hard, pitching herself as a working-class fighter from the Northeast who's already crushed Nigel Farage on his own turf. Her message? Labour needs warriors who can slug it out with Reform UK while holding the line on equality and justice. Other names: Emily Thornberry, Louise Hay, Lucy Powell, Stella Creasy, Dawn Butler, Annalise Dodds, are circling like vultures, each weighing their shot at the prize. Jess Phillips and Lisa Nandy have stepped back, and Shabana Mahmood's made it clear she's all in on the Home Office. But make no mistake, this isn't just a race for a title. It's a bloody fight for Labour's soul. Even Labour's heavyweights are sounding the alarm. Andy Burnham's publicly begging Starmer to open up the debate, not slam it shut. He's warned that MPs are being unfairly disciplined, and Labour's at risk of alienating its own talent. We need a different style, Burnham said, practically pleading for inclusion over exclusion. But the damage is done. Starmer's not projecting strength. He's scrambling to put out fires. A rebellious left, restless backbenchers, fleeing aides, and a party conference looming where every crack in Labour's facade will be magnified. Last night's meeting achieved nothing but a stay of execution. Starmer stood firm, demanding discipline and focus, but the room reeked of unease. The divisions are raw, and Labour staring down weeks of chaos. The deputy leadership race is carving up the party along ideological, regional, and even gender lines. Meanwhile, Reform UK is climbing in the polls, licking its chops at Labour's disarray. Starmer hoped September would be his comeback month. Instead, it's a fight for survival. The crisis isn't just real, it's a gaping wound. Labour's tearing itself apart, and Starmer's leadership is on the ropes. On another front, Shabana Mahmood, the new Home Secretary, is grabbing headlines with a hardline stance on migration. She's warned that the UK could slap visa bans on countries refusing to take back their citizens. Speaking after talks with Five Eyes allies, Mahmoud didn't mince words. If you don't play ball, we're not just going to sit back and let our laws be ignored. With 30,100 migrants arriving in 2025 already, a record, she's pushing for immediate returns under a new deal with France. Mahmoud also hinted at tweaking how the European Convention on Human Rights is applied in the UK without leaving it entirely. It's about balancing human rights with border security, she said, signaling tougher domestic laws to clamp down on illegal migration. The numbers, she admitted, are utterly unacceptable, and she's not here to play nice. Elsewhere, chaos erupted on a Ryanair flight from Leeds Bradford to Alicante. A rowdy British stag party turned a routine trip into a Madeira brawl, forcing Spanish police to storm the plane on landing. Passengers described carnage as drunken troublemakers clashed with crew who called for backup before touchdown. The Guardia Civil dragged the culprits off the Boeing 737-800, with witnesses cheering as officers wrestled one man away. Ryanair's response was ice cold. Zero tolerance of misconduct, and it's now a matter for local police. Alicante remains a hotspot, with 1,820 flights from Leeds Bradford annually, and a surge in passengers flocking to the Costa Blanca. Labor's imploding, Starmer scrambling, and the UK's borders are under scrutiny. The fight for control, inside the party and beyond, is far from over. This is raw, unfiltered chaos, and Starmer's running out of time to prove he can lead through it.